We'd like to ask you a question. Do you know anybody, or have you heard of anybody who just does dumb things? You got to look at them and shake your head and say, boy, that was dumb. Do you know somebody like that? Maybe you know them intimately? Just do dumb things. I know of these two guys did something very, very dumb. And yes, I realize these guys had a nice big backyard, but what they decided to do was get some wood together, some chicken wire, bicycle pedals, and put this together. This is dumb. In a way to make it fly. Now, I'm not the only one who felt that way. There were other people who felt that same way. They go to them and say, listen, guys, stop this. This is dumb. Why don't you go to the baseball game? Or you know what? Why don't you go on vacation? Better yet, take a nap. Get over it. But those people who had more passion about this than others would go to those two guys and tell them, listen, you stop doing this because what you're doing is an abomination against God. Because if God had meant for man to fly, he would have put wings on the back. It's a good thing these two brothers did not try to set a SMART goal. You know that SMART goal setting process? Figure out what's specific, measurable, achievable, reachable, and put a timeline on it. Good thing those two brothers realized that SMART goal setting is dumb. Setting SMART goals is a dumb way to do it when you're talking about advancing the human race or advancing yourself individually. What is a SMART goal? SMART goals is simply this. You need to set a very specific goal. So let's say you're managing a group of customer service people. And you say, my goal is that our customer service will improve. That's not a very specific goal. You'll probably say, I want our customer service satisfaction scores to improve. That is a very specific goal. M is for measurable. You want to be able to add on to that goal. I want our customer service satisfaction scores to grow by 10%. You can measure 10%. A is achievable or agreed to. You need to go to the person you report to the board of directors, or whatever it is, and find out if the goal that you're setting is achievable, if we can agree to it, if it's in alignment with what everybody else wants to do. R, reachable. You need to decide if your team has the ability to get there. They already know how to do it. They have all the technical knowledge they need. They have all the technical systems they need. If they can already do it, then it becomes a reachable goal. T, time specific. You need to decide what timeline you have. I want our customer service team to improve in the customer service satisfaction scores by 10% over the next 90 days. That is a SMART goal setting process, and that's very powerful in the business world. In your own personal life, it's a dumb thing to do. When you're setting the goal to improve mankind, it's a dumb thing to do. Why? Who can tell you what's achievable for you? Who can tell you what's achievable for you? You can barely tell yourself. In fact, you can't tell yourself what's achievable for yourself. Who can tell you what's reachable for you? No one can. You can't tell yourself that. When you say achievable and reachable, what you're saying basically is, I already have to know how to make the goal happen. I already have to have everything in mind to do that. When man decided to go to the moon, that was not a SMART goal. We did not know how to go to the moon. We didn't have the technical abilities. We didn't have the money to do it. Still, we set that goal, we made it happen. You need to start setting goals like that for yourself because you can be better than what you have been. It's law. SMART goal setting is dumb. Let's avoid that part. But let's talk about how you can set these goals that can make a difference in all of the human race and can make a difference in your personal and professional life. You must have a sense of clarity. That's where the specific part comes in. You must have a sense of clarity. And that sense of clarity comes in from you really knowing what you want. So I'm going to suggest that you set up a time period, maybe 10, 15 minutes. You're going to sit down for that 10, 15 minutes. Let's call it 15 minutes. You're going to sit down and you're going to brainstorm. You're going to write down every single thing that you want to have happen. Everything. You do not edit it at this point. You just write it. You just write it. If you can't think of something but that 15 minutes hasn't expired, write this 3 times. Blah, blah, blah. Move to the next line. Still haven't thought of something, blah, blah, blah. By the 3rd or 4th line, you'll have something else that's coming in your mind. Allow your mind to free flow. Allow your mind to brainstorm. Write everything down. Don't edit any of it. After that first 15 minutes has expired, then you go back through and you circle the top 10 things you want. Then you go back through it and double circle the top 5 you want on that 10. And then go down and whittle it down. But that top 5, maybe you want to start that top goal that you have in mind. In order for this to happen, forget about trying to decide if you know how to do it already. If you already have the technical expertise to do it. If you already have the money to do it. Forget about it. Simply go sit down now and write down what the day is like. Write this down. What the day is like the day you achieve this goal. So for example, if you're trying to buy a house, you want to buy a house, that's your goal. You want to sit down that day and write down what it's like for you the day you moved in the house. How nervous were you when the movers didn't arrive right on time? How you had to direct traffic when they get there to make sure that the box that belonged to the kitchen was in the kitchen and not in the bedroom. The bedroom box wasn't in the basement. You had to decide all that, and you had to put that. How did you feel about doing all that? How did you feel about 3 o'clock in the afternoon? You got your bed set up in the bedroom. You said, you know what? I'm taking a nap. How good did it feel then? Write down exactly how that goal feels the day you achieve it. The things you need to do the day you achieve it. Write those down, fill them out. Decide that. Then write down the day before. The day before you move in your house, you got to go pick up the keys. And the gentleman's bringing you the keys. It's a little bit late getting there. You got to get your keys off. But you get the keys in your hand. You pay the movers. They'll get the boxes out your house, old house. You watch them say goodbye to all those boxes you spent the last month packing. You all leave. And your hope is that they arrive at the house in time the next morning. But you watch that happen. How's it feel when you go back in that house and it's empty? There's space. And you're ready to move in the other house. You just got to spend the night there. Last night you have your air mattresses set up. You spend your last night in your house. And then you get in your car with your spouse or significant other. And you go to your new house the next day. But how does that feel the day before? What do you have to do the day before to make this happen? What about the week before that? Write that down. What happens the week before you move in the house? What has to happen? How does that feel? Then go back even further. A month before that. Then a month before that. Then maybe 6 months before that. But go back and live certain days. You decide maybe a month at a time, each one day. How does that feel? What do you have to do that day? Each little milestone that has to happen. The house closing. The down payment coming out of your bank account. The hunting for the house. How it appears. How does it feel when you see the house that you really want? How does it feel when you really qualify for the house? Look at all those steps. Write all those milestones down as if it's happening to you right now. That gives you a sense of clarity. That'll give you power to make those dreams happen. That'll give you the power, the sense of clarity, so you can figure out how to do these things. But for the moment, write down the feelings and what has to happen. The how will come naturally. The how will come easily. There's another exercise you can do to help this happen, though. See, if you're going to make a big dream and a big plan, you also have to remember you got to create a little bit of space for it. You got to move the clutter out. I had a lady who took the workshop and she understood the process. She had to remove the clutter. It's called the vacuum. She had to create a vacuum. She had to go and she had written it out, figured everything out, and realized I still need to create a vacuum, so she's going to create the vacuum in her closet. She went in her closet, emptied it all out, took everything out of the closet, socks, shoes, cleaned everything up, took everything off the hangers, put it all in her bedroom, all in her bed. Cleaned that closet great. Then looked at each item she had on the bed, looked at it, and said, you know what, I really like this dress. Boom. You know, I like these pants, but they don't fit, they're a little bit too tight. That didn't go back in the closet. That goes over here. Go through every item. Decide if you want it in the last 3 to 6 months. Now, if your seasonal items, you're not going to wear your winter items in the summertime, so you separate those completely. Maybe put those in a storage someplace, someplace different. Outside that closet, though. You go through that closet, you go through everything. You only put the things back in the closet that you plan on using, that you have been using. Only put those things back in the closet. Everything else stays out of the closet. If your closet is not half as full as it was, start over. Start over. Create a vacuum. You create a vacuum, nature will fill it with something else, both metaphorically and real. Open the closet. Create that vacuum. The key to this, though, is letting go. See, despite the fact that everything was in that closet, she did not want to let go of everything. She had to understand, though, pack this stuff up now and drive it to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army and donate it to somebody else who could use this. Understand, you could be helping others while you reach your goals. Give it away, let it go. And she did. Nature abhors a vacuum. Use that to your power. The other process you need to be aware of when it comes to this goal setting process. These goals stay within you. You do not share these goals. Your power comes from inside of you, not from outside of you. The power begins inside and it can go stronger and stronger. Do not share these goals. You know, I'm really good at reading minds. I am. And I hear some people's minds saying, well, we're supposed to have accountability partners. If you insist upon having an accountability partner, have an accountability partner for the steps leading to the goals. You do not share your goals. A young lady named Jennifer attended a workshop. She did her goals and she was motivated. She was powered by them. She was ready to knock them out. She left the workshop and decided, okay, I'm going to get me an accountability partner. I'm going to share this with my other friend, Sally. Her and Sally sat down and talked about it. She felt kind of a little bit off kilter when it was all over with. A few weeks later, she was out shopping. And another person walked up to her, a rival of hers, and told her, you know, I heard about that workshop you went to that was goal settings. That just doesn't seem realistic, does it? Jennifer was upset at Sally for releasing her goals to someone else, especially her rival. It bothered her. A few days later, it was still bothering her, but Jennifer went to her mom's house. Now, Jennifer's mom is similar to my mother. My mother, one day, I walked in the house and she knew I didn't have breakfast. Mothers have this ability to tell what's going on. Mother asked her, what's wrong? Jennifer explained, well, you know, I told Sally my goals and she told this person I don't like and this person who confronted me. It was kind of embarrassing, but I don't really care what that person says. I'm just disappointed in Sally. Her mom says, I can understand how you feel, honey. What was that goal anyway you were saying? Jennifer made the next critical mistake. She told her mother. See, her mother loves her. Her parents love her. Your brother, your sister, they love you. People close to you, they love you. And they want to protect you. Jennifer said her mother didn't have to say anything negative, but she saw it on her face. When she saw simply on her face, the expression said, maybe that is a little too hard for you, honey. Putting that goal out there, you're allowing yourself to be involved with C, N, and P. You need to avoid C, N, and P at all costs. Build from the inside. Your strength lies on the inside. By the way, what's C, N, and P? Constant negative news and people. Avoid those. Avoid those issues. It needs to be done. This is the power behind setting these goals and keeping them inside. You can avoid the C, N, and P, and you can let it build strength and power. Again, if you need an accountability partner, you can have that accountability partner check you on the steps, not on the actual goal. Keep that to yourself. Here are the steps if you insist upon having that. I will venture to say this, though. Smart goal setting is done in your personal life and any goals that you make for the betterment of mankind. I'm also willing to risk this. I think smart goal setting in the business world needs to change as well. See, if you're setting a goal that you know you can achieve, and you know it's reachable, how far of a stretch are you making? Where are you really going? Are you just hanging with the average? Or are you out there to change the world? Achievable and realistic goals means you already know how to do it. Let me tell you about somebody else I know that did something very dumb. This gentleman had the opportunity to speak in front of a group of movers and shakers. These movers and shakers, they could knock it out the ballpark. He had a chance to get in front of them and make a difference in the world, but he did something very dumb. This is what he said to them. The dogmas of our quiet yesterdays are inadequate for our stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulties, and we must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. Oh, really? The dogmas? That's a dumb word, dogmas. The dogmas of our quiet past are inadequate to our stormy present. What we used to believe, what we used to do in the past, is not good enough for today. We're a growing nation. We're a growing group of people. We need to grow. We need to grow. And it is piled high with difficulties. And as our case is new, it's different than what it used to be. It's different. So we must think anew and act anew. the dogmas of our quiet password, and adequate to our sowing present. Abraham Lincoln, 1862, in front of Congress. I venture to say it's time for us to think anew and act anew. Smart goal setting is done. Set some powerful goals that can help change the human condition on this planet, help change your personal life. Thank you.